Hi folks, King Jeff said we need a new clip for Wasted Modesto 2, or Wasteland TV 2. Wasted Modesto is the other side, but that's beside the point. Well, King Jeff said we need to do something, and I decided I'd talk about King Jeff's movie of the week, Paranormal Activity. This movie sucked. With all the hype and everything they talked about it, you expected, wow, for made under like $2,000 and then transferred up from computer to DVD to the big screen, you'd expect something grand. No. For the most part, when I was watching, I was going, wow, why don't you just have the main actress of the film just take her top off, because most of the time we're getting cleavage and titty shots of her. And she's going to bed with a sports bra underneath her top. And I'm not one to say, but isn't it uncomfortable as a female? And our female viewers can answer this. Do they sleep with a bra that they go to bed that they wore all day? I'm just not getting it. And second off, for being a ghost, you think the ghost would go after people, and it doesn't. It doesn't kill her best friend. It doesn't haunt her best friend. It just kills the boyfriend. And I was halfway ready for the boyfriend to get killed anyways. Because he's so bad. And these guys made so much money off this stupid film. You know, it's like the one scene when she's dragged out of bed. And then they go check. Wouldn't she have claws on her legs, you know, when you're being dragged? No. She just comes back with a demon hickey on her back right about here. I'm going, duh, that's dumb. And people found this scary. At least the Blair Witch had a moderate amount of suspense. I spent most of my time watching this movie bored shitless. This is like one of those movies when Matt Dog used to do reviews, he'd go, this is a shitter movie. I'm giving this 2 shits out of 4. And that's because Matt might like this. Me, I'd give it 4 shits out of 4. Because it's so shitty that it needs to be dumped and then flushed. But it's gonna be long for a while. One of those nuggets that's kind of floating there. That's much as you try to flush that stinky, stanky nugget, it's just not gonna flush. Because the studios have so much money, and it costs virtually diddly shit to make, that you're going, anyone on YouTube could make this. Most of the tricks of the film you can figure out yourself how to do. One of the biggest problems with the film is when you're dealing with the people, it's like a reality TV show. But when you're in the bedroom, it's like a study. And it's like, okay, you've almost got 2 different types of cameramen sitting there telling you this tale. The 2 most interesting scenes in the film, I'll have to say, is the one with the Ouija board where the thing's going around, and really, it's kind of, you could tell, if you know how to do tricks, it's a little remote control car underneath the thing going around there, and then it lights up. But before that was kind of dumb. You could tell when the plants are weaving back and forth. You can see that they're playing with a fan. But when they're doing the Ouija board moving around, that was kind of cool. The other thing is, the theatrical release of this movie was a lot more cooler than the ending that you actually get that scared people. You know, where she goes to the camera, looks around, and then goes, you know, you think when she hits the artery, it would have all over the camera. You know, like that. It's kind of like shooting a gun at the camera. You know, you get that effect that it's going, wow, it should scare you. But no, it doesn't. Where she carries the body, we'll use John Cena here. You see John Cena. And she just tosses him at the camera, and it moves back. It may be a stationary image moving and done with like a Photoshop or a photo studio, but the fact that it's moving and he hits the camera, and then she comes up and does her little Reagan thing, turns, you know, was okay. But if you're going to see one of these type of movies where they're like limited amount of people, I would have to say the original Godzilla with Perry Mason is a good example of this, is a very good example of first-person perspective, where it's told through a minimal amount of audience, and they're telling the tale of how they're seeing the world around them. And I really enjoy Cloverfield, but I have problems with the ending. But Cloverfield is also a good example of a big monster attacking. But my problem with Cloverfield was it's Barbie and Ken in Godzilla. But other than that, it's a good film. Now, if you're looking for something like this that's quite scary, which I didn't find it, but it's a precursor to some of the stuff as well, like Godzilla, is Rosemary's Baby, where you don't really quite know if it's a psychosis in her head due to being pregnant, or are they really satanic worshippers? I can't tell you the ending of the film because it'd ruin it for you if you haven't seen Baby. But the trade-off is you get a young Mia Farrow full frontal nudity if you're into that, you know. Because there are sites that tell you to go check out movies anyway, so at least I might as well point it out, because this one, after all, kind of cock teases you that's going to get some nudity, but doesn't. At least Rosemary Berry, you get that payoff, if that's all you're looking for in a film. But that's all for now. This is Agis261 signing off to give you an update for Wasted Modesto or Wasteland TV2, whichever site it ends on, a review due to the fact that King Jeff said the site needs an update. I am signing off now and going back on break.